Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and here on my YouTube channel. And this time out, we're going to take a look at, yes, another voiceover broadcast microphone. This is the Shure SM7B. Wonderful microphone. I've been using it in my studio for years for more than just voiceover and podcasting. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. So let's check out the Shure SM7B. I'm working in cahoots here in conjunction with my good friends over at Sweetwater to bring you this review today. So make sure you check out the links in the description box below. Those are my affiliate links to Sweetwater. So if you purchase an SM7B or anything else at Sweetwater, I do get a small commission for you doing that. You don't pay any more for the product, and it helps support what I do here at Home Recording Made Easy, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much in advance for considering using the affiliate link. Now, the SM7B, okay? I will tell you, up until a month ago, I've been using the SM7B on every single one of my YouTube videos, every single one of my podcasts, and every single one of my live streams for the last 3-4 years. I have only recently not changed over, but just experimenting with some other microphones, and I've done some videos on those, so just try something a little different. But this microphone is killer, and it's a winner. Not only have I used it for voiceover work and for podcasting and everything that I just mentioned, but when I was a tracking engineer recording bands and studios, I've used this countless times on especially male lead vocals, hard rock vocals. Sounds fantastic. Heavy distorted guitar cabinets, like miking up a 412 cab, sounds amazing. I've even used it on some bass cabinets from time to time, and depending on the bass cab, sounds great. Can take real high sound pressure levels. That means you can use it in the studio environment. It's really well built. It's made out of steel construction. The only thing that's somewhat fragile that you have to be careful about is the little cable here that goes from the microphone itself to the clamp here that clamps onto your boom arm. So you have to be somewhat careful. You just can't take this and throw it around the room, but it is very, very sturdy. I've dropped these things before. You'll be just fine if you take halfway decent care of your stuff. It is a cardioid polar pattern, which means for podcasting, gaming, live streaming, it's great that it has off-axis rejection. Everything is right here in the front. Okay, so it's great for that kind of thing. If you have a light air conditioner or fan going on in the background, this will reject, if not all of it, most of it. Really, really, really cool. It also has something unique in that it has two switches here, and I'll put an image up on the screen here. It's a passive EQ switch for a low cut and also for a mid presence boost. I'm setting this completely flat right now, so you're hearing it straight out of the box with no additional EQ or compression on my voice at all. This is exactly what it sounds like when you plug it directly into your audio interface, and we'll talk about the signal chain here in a second. It has an internal shock mount inside of it, meaning you don't need to have a shock mount. As you can see, there's no shock mount here at all, and you really don't need one. I've never used a shock mount with an SM7B, and again, it's attached to my Rode boom arm here, right onto the desk that I'm sitting at here, and I could tap on the desk and stuff. And hopefully, for the most part, you won't hear most of that. It is really good in that respect, is that it's got a really nice, well-designed, so you don't need to have a big old honking shock mount in front of your face here. It could keep it kind of streamlined for you. It's got a pop filter built right in, so the plosives are under control. It doesn't get too bad. Now, as you get really close to the microphone, you're going to get some of that proximity effect. And you have to realize that. So the closer you could get some plosives. But as you're at a normal range, you don't really have any plosives problem. You could use a pop filter. Again, I've never used one in all the videos I've produced with this. So if you want some more sound examples, you can go on my YouTube channel and look at anything from year 2016 to 2020, mid 2020, all done with a Shure SM7B. So it's got a lot of great features in it. It is very, really well built. Now, the signal chain of what we're doing here. So as I said, this is coming straight out of the microphone, plugged into my audio interface. And for this demonstration, I am using an affordable interface by PreSonus called the i2. Very common interface that lots of people have. It's not a real high-end interface by any stretch of the imagination. Now, one thing you want to think about with an SM7B is you really want to consider some kind of an inline preamp. I'm using the Cloudlifter here. I'll hold this up so hopefully you can see it. And I'll link it in the description box. You can see the cables coming in and out of it. This gives you an additional 25 dB of gain. And really, for this microphone, this dynamic microphone has a lot of low output. It takes an enormous amount of gain to get this signal for this microphone. Now, I tested this with my i2 without a cloud lift, and I had the gain cranked all the way up. And I was coming in Studio One here as I'm recording my voice at around a negative 15 dB, which is a little bit conservative with the gain all the way cranked. The problem with that is when you crank the gain all the way up, especially on the more affordable audio interfaces, you're going to get some hiss, some white noise. It's going to get a little noisy on you, right? So you want to be able to not have to crank the gain all the way up. You want some more fuel in the tank, as it were. So by adding the Cloudlift, you get about 25 dB of clean gain, which means you could back off the preamp gain quite a bit. And that seems to work really, 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 really well. And so I highly recommend some kind of an inline preamp. Again, I'll link it in the description box below. I've been using a Cloudlifter forever, and they're fantastic. They're trouble-free. They're easy to use. They're made out of steel. You just plug it in, you put it behind your desk or your console or wherever you're at. You kind of set it and forget it. No fuss, no muss, no worries. It does require 48 volts phantom power, which is on every interface today. It's even on my i2 here. And that is it. So right now I'm recording and I'm coming in around a -8, -10 dB, which is about right. And again, my gain right now on the i2 is probably just past 12 noon, a little bit past 12 noon with the Cloudlifter. And this is the sound you get. No EQ, no compression whatsoever. So if you like the sound of the SM7B and you want to try out one for yourself, check the links in the description box below. And I thank you very much for doing so in advance. And until the next video, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.